Big Ronnie saying if you don't watch this guy's YouTube channel, you're making a big mistake.
What is up, everybody? How you doing? I'm on the wrong window here. Pardon me. Happy night to you. What night is it? It's Tuesday night. Hope you're all having a wonderful evening this evening. And we got some fun stuff to talk about. I'm going to be joined by a special guest here just a moment from now. But everybody, if you would, go ahead, hit that thumbs up button for me. Would mean a whole heck of a lot. It helps out the algorithms on the channel and stuff. And it's going to be fun tonight chatting. I will get to saying hello to everybody here in a minute and addressing your comments. Antonis, Brian, B Sculptor, Robert C, Matt, what up? James, Ottawa, how's everybody doing? Let me, before we dive too far in and get so far off track, I want to get to the meat of the bone, what we're talking about here tonight, and it has something to do with our very special guest and myself and Phat Samurai Guy and many other people. But without further ado, let's bring him on. Mr. John Ward. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you for joining me here. We have something fun to talk about tonight, a movie that it was just released on Tubi today that features the both of us, as well as some other very talented actors and fun people. Do we not?
That is correct.
Yes. And may or may not, did you reach out to the individual or that person that I had mentioned to you I was trying to get hold of?
I didn't, unfortunately. I was at work, so
no.
I could shoot him a message now if you would like.
Yeah, would you mind just on the down low? And if he responds, if he responds to you at all, maybe copy.
I should let people see what I'm doing. There we go.
Yes. Please do. But anyways, we're going to talk about this movie that is now out on Tubi, where you all can watch a movie that I'm in. You could see me. And you could see John, and you could see that Phat Samurai Guy. You could see the wrestler Gangrel. You could see the wrestler Sin Bodhi. You could see fellow YouTuber Justin Scarred, a.k.a. Mr. Random Land himself, in the movie. And I'll just show you right here. The After Dark, which John and I already have copies of. And not to rub it in or make you jealous or anything, but you, unfortunately, will never be able to get a copy of this particular artwork because the Blu-rays that are coming out to the public apparently are going to have different artwork, which I have not seen those yet. But these were given to us the night of the premiere at, the Rio in Las Vegas at the theater there. Same place that Joe Lujan premiered Immortal Wars.
Yes.
The newest one, right? Yeah. So anyhow, that movie is out on Tubi. There is a link down below. You can check it all out. And if we get any other special guests from the movie, which John is efforting right now, we'll have them on. It'll be a lot of fun. But if not, we can still tell you about our experience and a little bit about this movie and why you may want to check it out. First of all, it's called The After Dark. And you can see here, it says on here, Early Access Edition. And there's I believe that one of the main reasons that the artwork will change is because there's something, I think, with the film itself that had to be edited due to somebody. They used a word in the movie, if I remember right. And I don't want to speak out of pocket here and say something that I shouldn't, but I'll just say that there was a word used, a word spoken in the movie, and another film company apparently was not happy about it. So Tom just went in there and edited that word out. And so it has been altered ever so minutely that you'll probably never ever notice in watching the movie. But because of that, it's, I think, got like different artwork and stuff.
Oh, okay.
A different release. At least that's what was mentioned the night of the premiere. But John, would you like to tell them all maybe about the story or what the film's about a little bit?
Well, it's about two warring clans of vampires. Ventural.
Oh, are you trying to read the small print there? Oh,
yeah, and the
the
It's
Bruja.
hard the Bruja. Yeah, it's hard. It's kind of hard to read. Come head to head after Master Vigo's favorite leaves him for the Brewall. Sorry, Tom.
Yes.
But it's kind of like Romeo and Juliet. It's not the easiest font to read, and I always mispronounce unusual words anyways. But both of us are in this, and I am happy to say that I'm in a lot of Tom's films. I'm not in all of them, but I'm in a lot of them. And Tom is a good friend. I'm out here in Vegas. He's in Boulder City. And I'm always happy when I get that message that says, "Hey, what are you doing next Tuesday at 8:00?" And I'm like, "Yes, we're filming." So that always makes me happy. And this time he wanted to get a camp of homeless people. And so I am one of the kind of featured homeless people, along with like Michael Shields and his dad and, and some other people too. So in fact, when we were at the premiere, I only had the homeless people sign my poster because Tom signed it, but I just only wanted the homeless people. So I'd be walking by like the lead actor, he'd be like this with a pen, and I'd be like walking right by him. I'd be like, "Sorry, I only want the homeless people." So
nice.
But it's always great to. I don't care how small the role is or how big it is. I'll always be there for Tom. I don't care if I'm just standing in the background. It's just a great experience working with him. So, what about you?
Yes. You know what? I had an absolute blast. That was the first one of Tom's films that I was on at all, and I had a blast with it. The best way I could describe the film is just if it's got a lot of punk rock music, it's got vampires, it's got wrestling, fighting, and chaos, skateboarding, like all kinds of random stuff. Just a lot of different things that are cool thrown in the mix there. So it was fun. I enjoyed getting to see some of the behind the scenes stuff. I just love, and I always say this, I just love being a part of the process, being on set, part of the creative process, making movies is always fun for me. And so to get to see Tom in action directing was a lot of fun. Getting to see the wrestlers behind the scenes kind of choreographing some of the fight scenes. Really enjoyed that. And getting to know some new people. And it's very funny because I've known who Justin Scard was for a long time, but I did not expect to see him on set there. And so I walked in and I'm like, that guy looks so familiar. He looks so familiar. Where do I know this guy from? And then when somebody mentioned it was Justin Scard, I was like, holy shit, are you kidding me? And, so that was great getting to get him in a little bit of my video from being on set there, and getting to talk to him for a while and everything was a lot of fun. But I had a blast. And the cool thing is, you see, and Balzer has already left a comment, which I'll address in just a second here. But yes, so I actually played 2 roles in this, one of which you clearly see me. The other you don't. The scene, there's a scene, for those of you that haven't seen it yet, Balzer clearly has. When Gangrel comes walking out and says, "Kill them all," there is a homeless person, the silhouette of a homeless person standing right there in front of him, and he kind of pushes me out of the way. So I play a homeless person, but inside, contrary to what Mr. Balzer is saying here, I am not a homeless person. I am one of leaves the bench. So I'm one of the Bruja, I think that's what they're called, the Bruja vampires in their club, the After Dark club, moshing around with Justin Scard. And yes, I am the thumbs down guy, that's for sure. But Balzer says OGP is the homeless thumbs down guy. John Ward is the homeless guy who apparently couldn't get warm in the After Dark. I'm missing that. maybe you can enlighten me on that reference, John. And then Balzer says, I liked the film more than I should have. The sword fighting was a bit much. Oh, you know what? They did just list me in the homeless camp because they gave out cards for us to write. Like they wanted us to kind of like create our character name. And I was like put on the spot, and I was exhausted because we had driven out to Vegas and then filmed all night, and I could not come up with the name, so I didn't turn a card in. So I just got lumped into the homeless. But yeah, technically I could be in there, or as well as one of the vampires there. But if he ever does a sequel, hopefully, fingers crossed, I get a phone call to come back and do a little more thumbs downing in the background.
Yeah.
But so he mentioned that you were the guy who couldn't get warm. Oh, was that because were you standing by the fire, or what's that?
Yeah,
reference?
they had like the oil canister and there was the fire. I was very, very happy with the people I was around. So it was like Michael Shields, who I'm a big fan with. He was Teddy, and Teddy told me to. And I was there with Jason Wallace, Tom's dad. Was there anybody else there? I think it was just like 4 of us. And I was very happy with who I was with. And of course, like Jason Wallace played a different version of Teddy told me to, of Teddy, I guess. So, but yeah, I think my hands are on it. I'm always, it's supposed to be very cold out. So it's always that type of thing. So, and then we get killed. So, a little bit later, that's where the camera floats around speeding. And I guess it's supposed to be like the vampires, kind of like a Lost Boys type of thing, killing us.
Yeah. And Matt says, Romeo and Juliet with vampires is the best way he could describe it. And
that's what I would say. Yeah.
Yes. But let me say hello. I want to say hello to a couple of the other comments here. James Ottawa, I'm here for a tub of potato salad. When's the auction? Well, I hate to disappoint you, but I have failed to come through with the potato salad tonight, so forgive me. And Robert C. the Legend is here. What up, Robert? How you doing? And yeah, Matt was saying, yes, it's hotter than a rattlesnake's taint in Vegas right now. And it has been hot. It's been very hot here at my house. Today I think it got up to 108, which where I live is technically that's ridiculously hot for where I live, but very, very close to here in the city of Palm Springs. It's funny, the day that it was 120 out there in Vegas, I believe that was the same day. It was 124 over here in Palm Springs. So it's funny. I would have thought, and I know I'm getting on a tangent here, but that's okay. That's what we do. I would have thought that if you would have said that the hottest Vegas had ever been was like 117, I would have thought you're shitting me. You're kidding. There's no way that it hasn't got to 120 out there.
Oh no! It got. This was a few years ago, but it was 122, and they had reported that like 3 elderly people walked out of a casino and had heart attacks because they went from like freezing to boiling, and they just collapsed in the street.
Well, see, and that's what was surprising because I'd seen the news reporting for the last couple of days about Vegas breaking an all-time heat record, hitting like first 119, they said, and then 120. And I was like, there's no way that Vegas has never been above 120 because like Palm Springs, I mean, the record in Palm Springs is 124. So, and it's regularly out here in the summertime, it's regularly 120 degrees. So, but anyways, all that aside, it's hot as fuck. We've all been sweating our balls off. If you live anywhere in the southwestern part of this country, it's been a little bit toasty lately.
Oh yeah, for dinner tonight, I'm having balls soup. So I mean,
nice, shreddy balls,
very sweaty balls,
or chocolate salty balls.
Ooh.
Or maybe a little mixture of both. You get like double dip there. Yeah.
That's not bad. Yeah.
What's up, Antonis? Brian, how you doing? Let's see here. House of G fam, the man, the myth, the legend. What up? And let's see. Could have been where Matt was saying something else. Could have had the name Blade Hammer. Yeah, you know what? I was so on the spot. I just could not think of a name to call myself, but it was 85 in Missouri. Wow. Yeah, you should have stayed there a few more days. Yeah, no, and at Death Valley, I saw they were saying that Death Valley could have broken a record, and I think the Death Valley holds the all-time hottest record for the hottest place on the face of the earth ever at like 134, and they were saying that there was a chance of it breaking that, but I don't think that's going to happen now. But the bottom line is anytime it's over like 105, I mean, 100 is still hot and uncomfortable, but over 105, it just sucks. There's nothing pleasant. Even being in a pool, it just sucks breathing in that hot air. There's nothing fun about it. So,
no, absolutely not. Vegas is constantly like having a hair dryer just on you, just always. And to quote Matthew Broderick from Biloxi Blues, it's what does he say? He goes, "It's hot. It's Africa hot." So is that offensive these days to say that? I don't know.
I mean, we're talking geography. We're not talking race, ethnicity, skin color, anything like that. So but you know, those who shall get offended will be offended by anything. So
anything. Yes, that is very true.
We choose not to worry about that stuff.
Good thing. Good. Well, before we move, beyond Tom Devlin, I do have some of his other films here that people could check out, and I think most of these are available.
Yes, and there's a couple really good ones. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, so this is a Blu-ray that you can't get anymore, but it is available, and that's Teddy told me to.
Nice.
So
it's the Blu-ray's not available, or that edition?
This version. This is the 2022 Tour Special Edition. Pre-release special edition, only available on this tour. And I only had Michael Shields sign this one. So I think, oh no, there's Tom.
Hang on, I'm going to grab mine. I forgot that I had one of those. I have the alternate one that they can get now. 1 second.
Show you guys what this has here. And then there's, so it's Blu-ray and DVD. This is a cool flick. This is the first Tom Devlin movie I was in. He basically messaged me and said that a known actor who will be nameless thought that the role was too small. And I said, fuck that guy. I'll take it. No role is too small. and I ended up playing what he described as in like Mighty Morphing Power Rangers, the two bullies. There's like the tall fat one, and then like the short guy. He's like, I want you to be like the fat guy, and so he kind of dressed me up like him, and I'm like, yeah, I got no problem with that. So, and then we got the little Tubi thing here because it's now on Tubi.
Nice.
And there's like a little bookmark here. So this is nice. There's no special features or anything on it, but you have
nice.
a different version.
And what does the cover of yours look like? Oh, okay. Yes. Very different artwork I have. And here it is. Teddy told me to.
Yeah, I think that's the actual poster. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then mine has the
tour Tom right there in the middle. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. This was a lot of fun. I was really like Fluffy had told me he saw that it was out and on Tubi, and he mentioned it to me, and I went and watched it, and I was blown away how fun this really is. This is such a great movie. In fact, I hate to say it, but I mean, even out of all of Tom's movies I've ever seen, I think Teddy told me to is my favorite, even though I'm in this one. And don't get me wrong, The After Dark is fun. It's out. It just came out today, just today. Link down below. You can go watch it for absolutely free on Tubi. But I think Teddy told me to. It's just an outstanding, such a fun movie. He did just such an amazing job with it. I'm so happy. This is such a fun movie.
Yeah, I think it's still my favorite too, even though I'm obviously a little biased on it. But it was my first time working with Tom and all of his people, and which was one of the best experiences I've had on a set. So then I guess that he liked me a lot, that he had me come back for Las Vegas Frankenstein, and this one has like a bunch of signatures on it. So
nice.
And this one is pretty fun. So it's Frankenstein, a magician out here creates the Frankenstein monster, and it goes crazy in Las Vegas. While Teddy told me to is a slasher film, so this is more of a monster movie. And this is where I got to meet Daniel Roebuck. So it was very fun to work with. Yeah. And for my scene, Tom gave me, we call him, is it the captain or the general? What's Elvis's guy?
Oh, the colonel.
So he's the colonel. So I'm the captain. And I'm there in like a suit, and I have all these Elvis impersonators around me. And
that's right. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and I riffed the most racist stuff I could possibly think of for these guys, because one of them was Asian and stuff, and one was like Hispanic, a couple of them were white, and he's just like, just be horrible, be a horrible person, and so I did, and I think people actually thought that I was racist, because nobody really came up to me going, good job at the end.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
It
was cut down a lot. So I asked if they could put the whole thing on maybe special features when it's like officially released.
Yeah.
But this one was a lot of fun too to make. So
everybody can see how racist you really are.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, and I'm in one that I don't own. So I'm going to look that up while you.
Okay. I was just going to say, Balzer, yes, you might want to watch Las Vegas Frankenstein Balzer, because Balzer is one of the biggest Elvis Presley fans I know, if not the biggest Elvis fan. And so with all those Elvis impersonators around you, Balzer may get a kick out of that. And look at this. The legend, Larry, the Batman fan, is here. Larry, how you doing, buddy? Look at this. Larry coming through with the $10 super chat. Larry, you absolutely rock. Hey, it's been a while. I know Larry's work schedule has made it tough for him to get on here, and my schedule has been lately too. But Larry, hey, it's great to hear from you. I hope you're doing well. Hopefully things are going well for you at the hospital over there, and really appreciate that super chat. That's so cool of you. Larry says, how's everyone doing tonight? This was a random live. Didn't expect you to be live tonight. It seems it's random. Larry, it is kind of a random last minute live. And the reason that we're live, the main reason is we're talking about the After Dark. And Larry, to be completely honest, Larry, I don't know if this is going to be up your alley, just because of the nature of this film. It's a horror movie, and it's a little blasphemous. And I do know Larry is a very religious guy, and so this might not be up your alley, Larry. But this is a movie that's available now on Tubi for free. That I'm in. John is in. I get my thumb to go that way, and that Phat Samurai guy is in, who you all know, and Justin Scarred, and some famous wrestlers, and of course Tom Devlin gives himself a cameo in there, and a lot of fun, really cool, nice people. But it's a punk rock, skateboarding, vampires, wrestling, and a lot of action. But Matt, I think Matt said it really well.
Like a Romeo and Juliet type of thing.
Yes, a vampire version of Romeo and Juliet. Yeah. Yes.
Well, and that's the cool thing about Tom is he'll have just pretty much anybody there. He has a film that he's been making for about 20 years that deals with John Wayne Gacy. And he asked me, he goes, you know what, I've only given you small parts. Why don't I give you a big part? So I played like a psychiatrist that's talking to Gacy. And at that time, a friend of mine, John R. Walker, was coming over from the UK. And I said, John, but I'm filming. I'm sorry. And he goes, can I be in it? And so I messaged Tom, and I'm like, look, here's his IMDb. This guy is like one of the biggest extras in the UK. Like, he's really well known. And he's like, yeah, bring him by. So here it is, a friend of mine who comes from the UK, and we're hanging out, and all of a sudden we're at Tom Devlin's Monster Museum, and now John's playing like a doctor, and we're playing around with brains and all this type of stuff, and he's in the movie.
That's cool.
He didn't expect that. He just just came to hang out, and all of a sudden he's in the film. So that's who Tom Devlin is. Well, instead of having one doctor, let's have two. And of course, John's got the accent and all that. So he sounds like the smarter doctor because he's British. So it's and the one I was trying to think of is Slaughterhouse on the Hill. That I don't have a copy of yet. That I need to get. Okay. That's on Tubi also. That I have a tiny part in. But
nice.
Yeah. So and then the other one is by his wife, Legend of the Sasquatch. Have you seen that?
Legend of the Sasquatch?
Squeech.
No, I have not seen that. No. I do. I think he may have copies at the museum, right? He may have copies for sale.
Yeah, that's where I got this. Yeah, Lola was there, and I think she signed it for me. Oh yeah, she signed it up there with Tom right there. So
nice.
It's it kind of has like a Hills Have Eyes type of feel to it, and see he does nice stuff. He does Blu-ray, DVD. He's got
very cool
little inserts, and then the last one I have. He didn't direct this. He did the effects on it, but I thought it sounded cool. Whenever I go there, this is when I was shooting the interview for Trick or Treat, for Arrow Video UK. I always feel like I have to buy something, and so I bought this. Time's Up. Sounds like kind of like a Final Destination type of movie.
Yeah.
Or it's a slasher film with death. I could be totally wrong. I haven't watched it yet.
What is it? Is that something he directed or?
No, he did the effects, and then Tom's releasing movies through the Plan 9 Pictures.
Gotcha.
So he's reached out to a few of us about that.
And with that in mind, Tom's links are down below, so you guys can find that for Tom. In addition to the link to watch the After Dark. Matt says, Tom owes you, John. You gave him a Velociraptor.
I did. Wait, Matt. How does Matt know that?
That's Matt. That's
Oh,
Matt.
that's Matt. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I work at a storage facility, well, different company at the time, and a guy was into movies. He collected all these props and set pieces, and it went to auction, but something happened where it couldn't go to auction. So it was like, well, we could take it to the dump. And I went in and said, I want that Velociraptor. This guy had a full-size Velociraptor. And
Wow.
I called up Tom and said, do you need a Velociraptor? And he's like, yeah. He goes, how much you want for it? I'm like, dude, it's free. You just have to come and pick it up. So so then he gave me, because he was so happy about it, because then I also gave him a whole bunch of shelves that he could put like his makeup on and all that I don't know if it can be seen, but no, it can't be seen. It's way up there, but it's a full-size ginger dead man.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
Yeah, so he's like that big. It's a replica, but it's a full-size one on a stand, and that's something I'll never get rid of. So, you do stuff, you do nice things for people, they do nice things back.
Yeah, Matt says, you told me, LOL. I think John wasn't 100% sure because of the name. I don't think it clicked that that you were Matt. But that's funny. I didn't know that you gave Tom a Velociraptor, and John didn't know that he was talking to Matt. So
yeah, unfortunately, the Velociraptor isn't there anymore. So whenever I come across the storage unit that has that type of stuff in it, I always, message Tom first. I send him pictures. So if there's free shelves I could give him, like metal shelves, and it's an abandoned unit, he's the first guy that I call. So I really like Tom. I consider him, like a friend and everything. So I want to help him out.
Yeah, no, Tom is a very good guy, and he's always. I've got a wobbly table here. Forgive me, maybe that'll fix it. Every time I've called him in need of an effects artist, he has been like, throwing names out there. So, there's a couple times that I was possibly going to need somebody, and then that fell through, but he even still, gave me numbers at the time. And then the times, with using Miranda and Chris and Waleed, he's just always been willing to help and try and get somebody. So, he's just such a good dude. I mean, that's not just the only reason I think he's a good dude is because he helped me out. I just think he's just such a nice, friendly guy. And, for somebody who, owns a museum, is doing well in life, makes movies, all that stuff, he could get himself a nice little ego, but he doesn't have one at all. So he's just down to earth, fun dude.
Yeah. And that's the good thing about the filmmakers out here in Vegas. It's a small thing, but it's a thriving thing. And we all help each other out. And is that my cat barking?
No, that's my dog getting pissed off at the front door.
I go and I work for Drew Marvick for free. Then he works for me for free. I go work with Joe Lujan, and then Joe Lujan works with me. I work with Tom, and then Tom will be nice and let me use the museum to shoot an interview in. It all comes around, and because it's so small, you can't be a dick, and there are dicks out here that people don't want to work with, but unfortunately they do. But that's the nice thing about certain people out here. And I will never ask them for a dime. I don't ask them for anything. I'd like a copy of the film and a poster. That's about it. And which is cheap. So it's just,
and even so with the After Dark, they gave us posters, which were really nice, and brought markers so we could all get them signed. And so I have it, signed by, I don't even know. My poster's so far up, I would have had to literally bring a ladder in the room, and not just like a regular ladder. One of those, my poster's like 13 feet up there.
Is it like
So
on the ceiling? Like it's flat against the ceiling because you
well,
just don't have,
no,
you don't have
no,
any
but
room anymore?
I have a vaulted ceiling, and it's just all the way up at the top of that wall. So yeah, it's just I couldn't get it down. But I do have a lot of autographs that I got that night. So I thought that was really cool. The idea that you know, they just gave us this poster so we could have it and everybody signing and stuff. And then the cost of the Blu-ray to get this printed out and made is at least $5. You know, it's at least $5 for a Blu-ray to get them printed. And I'm not, you know, like gonna, you know, beat anybody else up about the quality of the product, but this is a very good product compared to some other stuff you've seen from released from indie filmmakers. So to get this good of a product for $5 for us being there was an amazing, you know, if he was to give, I mean, there's like what, 50 people in the cast, that would have cost him a pretty penny to hand all these out. But to give it to us for the cost that he was paying was really cool. And I have no issues, you know, with that at all. It's very fair deal.
Yeah, $5 is a good price. Yeah.
And those posters, I mean, it probably cost a couple bucks a piece for those posters. So, you know, those were
he
really
always
nice.
uses good paper. He uses that thick paper. He doesn't use like the cheapy thin paper that you could just easily tear. These are like good quality, like 11 by 17 posters that he does.
Yeah,
and he's really good about that. Whenever I've gone to a premiere, he always has the stack of posters, you know, the bundle of pins, all different colors. And we always have that time at the beginning and the end to, you know, to have all of us go around and get the signatures. So it's Tom's a really good guy about that type of stuff. So, you know, and if people are come out to Vegas, go visit his Monster Museum in Boulder City. It changes all the time. So even if you've been there before, it's not going to be the same if you go back a second time.
I've walked through the museum 3 times, and every time, I mean, like the first time I went in, you went in like that door, and the second time I went in, you went in that door and came out that door. The third time I went in, you went in that door and came out this door. And so yeah, it is always changing, but it's a lot of fun. But you know, funny story with my poster, and I should have just got the ladder out and brought it down, but it is what it is. Suck it. I wasn't going to get any autographs. I was kind of being like, well, you know, we drove out to Vegas for the premiere, and then we had to drive home that same night after the premiere. So because Preston's Fat Samurai guy, his wife had obligations. She had things to do the following day, so we had to get back. So I was kind of like, okay, well, we went over. Wow, excuse me. That was just a mid-word burp came out right there. But I went over, got the poster, got the movie, and was like, okay, I'm ready to go. And Lady Fat Blood goes, well, aren't you going to get it signed? And I was like, you know, I don't know. And because everybody was busy getting autographs, and I knew we kind of were up against it. And then I was like, well, let me get, you know, like Tom to sign it, and, you know, and maybe 2 other people or whatever. And then next thing you know, it was like I had like almost everybody. I couldn't remember all their names if my life depended on it right now, because there were so many people in the cast. But I mean, there's like no room left to sign on that poster now. So, you know, I'm glad that we did that.
You were going to leave before me, and you ended up leaving way after me. So, because I just wanted to get the homeless people, and then I was going to split because I had to wake up early for work.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
No, but what you did was what I call a hit and run, because I used to do that for concerts. Is I would drive out to the concerts from Vegas to LA, see the show, grab like Denny's, and then drive back all in one thing. So you'd be out there for like 6 hours, you know, maybe 8 hours, depending. But it's just one long long trip.
That's a hard turnaround. It is a very hard turnaround. But if that's all the time you have and you really want to go see it, sometimes you say screw it and you do it. So let's see here. So Larry says, how many movies do you own, OGP? And that's a good question. I love Matt's response. OGP goes to Zia with a list. I'm sure the number is high. No, I do. I go, I've got my list right here. And so I go in and I know that there's going to be movies added. So I just got like the S's on one page, the T's on one page. But I go to Zia Records with the list. I don't know, but I can tell you this. I ran out of space in here, and my shelves, based on average 40 movies across per level and how many shelves I've got, I figure I've got about 2,000 in here. And now out in the garage, these big bins that probably hold close to 100 movies each. There's like maybe 5 or 6 bins out there full of movies that are, what I've done is taken comedies and just not horror or like movies that I really, really love. Because I do have some movies in here that are not horror that I really love, which I'm having a hard time finding any right now because it's pretty much horror movies. But I do have a few that are not horror in here. But for the most part, it's just horror movies. And there's about 2,000 in here. But I know, John, you have a nice, large amount, a huge collection as well. Probably more than I do. And do you have an estimate about how many movies or an actual number?
Not an actual number, no, but it's got to be that. If not, I mean, I got these behind me, but and then I got over here, I got all those, and then I got all these there, got all the Funko Pops there, I got more movies there. Yeah. I mean, they're all over there too.
Don't you have like a coffin shaped movie?
Yeah, it's hard to see the
it's like up against the wall over there.
The dinosaur there from Jurassic World is on top of it. But yeah, it's a coffin shaped bookshelf.
Yeah.
So, and then I got all of them in the bedroom too. So it's I don't have a list. I go in with a plan. So I mostly go in saying, this week I want to collect the films from Kevin Costner. And so I'll go in with my phone and like IMDb, and I'll just go find all of his movies that he's directed. Gotcha. And then I'll go, okay, now that I got the directed ones, let's do produced by. Okay, now let's go to the Westerns. Now let's go to the, the sports films and stuff. So it's, so there's a ton. Oh, and then on top of that, there's about 5 like shoe boxes filled with DVD-Rs.
Are those something you've had for a while, or because who really burns DVD-Rs anymore?
I got them when I first started using torrent websites, and
you sail the seas.
Yes, I sailed the high seas. And I was collecting like all the Universal Monster movies, the Hammer films, all of that type of stuff that were not available at the time. So I was collecting all that, and anything that wasn't available, I was burning, because it'd be like a VHS copy that you could burn. Yeah. So I've just kept them all. There's no real reason for me to get rid of them. So,
unless you need the space or something, why? Especially if that's the only version you have of that film, there's no problem with it as long as your player still plays them.
Yeah. For a long time, my burn of like the Video Dead was like, that's the only way you could get it was VHS. But now it's come out on Blu-ray and stuff, so I could probably just toss it if I wanted to. So it's but I got you something, and one of the two things I got you. So people probably know from you that you collect Funko Pops. People don't know from me that I collect Funko Pops.
Yes.
And
Well, we did the Funko Pop
the whole
video.
show.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes.
So I was at Five Below, messaged you, and you said, yes, get me this. And this is
Oh yes.
it's the Sopranos.
Yes.
So
Nice.
that's
nice.
the wife,
That's
right?
awesome.
Tony's wife.
Yes, that is Tony's wife. Yes, that is awesome. No, and I had I had Tony, I had Junior, and oh, what's her name? It's Drea De Mateo's character. What was her name? Chrissy and oh, whatever. She got killed.
Like Andrea or something?
Her name in it was Drea De Mateo, but it's man, I can't read it from here.
Yeah, we know. Yeah.
But yeah, it was Drea De Mateo's character. Maybe.
And yeah, so I saw this and it was just
Adriana.
Like,
Adriana.
And it's just like, oh, let me contact Philip to see if he has it or not. Now on the back here is Christopher. And I'm thinking of doing maybe another box from Five Below.
Mm.
And if I do, I'll pick him up for you because he's in there.
Oh, okay. Oh, he's on their website now? You mentioned that to me, didn't you?
Yeah.
But you know what? Last time I went on their website, I looked. I didn't see any Sopranos on there.
You have to. It's like there's a figure, and then below it, it shows some pictures of others, and it will normally say like +3, +4, and you have to click, and it will bring up all of them. And Christopher's down there. It's in the same area that like Leprechaun was in.
Okay.
So if you don't pick him up, I'll pick him up for you when I do that. That next box, because then I'll probably be done with everything I want. But I also got for you because I accidentally bought two, and that is the Funko Mini of Spider-Man 2099.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you, sir. You know what? I don't have any Spider-Man Funkos or any type of Spider-Man figures. And as a kid, Spider-Man was my all-time favorite superhero.
Oh, nice. Yeah, he's still mine.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is a Five Below exclusive, and it glows in the dark.
Oh, sweet. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Of course. Cool. So these will be waiting for you, when I see you again. So there you go.
Nice. Which should be about a week from now in that neighborhood. So we've got something going on that I guess we can maybe kind of spill the beans a bit. I don't want to give too much away about it, but we're going to be shooting a scene, a little pickup scene for a movie. I don't even want to name what's going on with it. But we're going to be shooting a little pickup scene for a movie. And Matt messaged me a little while ago, confirming that he's still good on board to be able to go help us out that day. So very excited about that. And off camera and everything, when we're done, I've got to get with you and you think we can say her name on here? Do you think she would have any issue with that?
No, because actually I am messaging her right now.
Okay.
Miranda Dudley.
Yes. So Miranda, who's done makeup and effects and stuff for you many times and been dead in many of your movies.
That's
Miranda
our thing.
Is gonna, she's gonna be helping us out with this project as well. So should be a fun little one-day shoot we're gonna be doing in about a week or so. So looking forward to that.
We started. It was with I just messaged her. I'm just like, you still down with filming on Thursday the 18th? And she goes, fuck. I hope it's cooler then. LOL.
Oh well, where we're filming, it should be at least 20-30 degrees cooler. But let's see. We got How Weird in the house. What up, How Weird? How you doing? How did Dave Gangrel get involved in a film that's so cool? I've been a huge mark for his character since WWF debut. I don't know, and I would love to be able to ask Tom. I would love to be able to ask Tom how he got in touch with Gangrel, or did he already know Gangrel, or how did he get him involved? That would be a fun story to hear. Do you know?
From what I understand with a lot of these people is he did makeup for them in one
Whoa.
form or another, you know, a movie, a TV show,
Gotcha.
a video, whatever it might be. And that's how he got to know some of these people was through that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's really cool because, I just, the idea of thinking about, you're talking about a guy from wrestling fame, WWF, WWE, whatever it was at the time when he was really involved with it, to going to being involved in a movie, the Tom Devlin, who, we both know, and I don't know. It's just, it makes you realize the world is not as big of a place as it seems sometimes, but it is pretty cool. How weird, we will effort that. We will effort that and try and get back to you with the story on that someday. Major Reeves, what's going on? How you doing, Major Reeves? Thank you. And so Major Reeves, yes, if you guys haven't, in which it just came out today, so my guess is the majority of folks have not had a chance to watch it yet. But yes, The After Dark is what we're talking about. Movie just came out on Tubi today. You can watch it for free. John's in it. I'm in it. Phat Samurai Guy's in it. So many people. Gangrel and other wrestlers. Justin Scarred. So a lot of fun. It's on Tubi. Link is right down below. So check it out. You can see us both in there. Matt says, wow, that's cool. I got to get into physical media because you guys that are films I want to watch, sometimes they bounce around from platform to platform. Yes, no. And so that is, you know what, there's times where I'm sitting here at home and I'm like, I want to watch a movie, but I am too damn lazy to get off the couch. I'm going to just surf and see what's streaming out there that I can watch. There's other times where I'm like, no, I want to start getting through some of these movies that I've got sitting on the shelf here. But at the same time, a lot of these movies that I have on the shelf, maybe you can just go find them somewhere, maybe. But will they be there forever? Who knows? But, for example, like a movie like Mosquito Man, is that going to be streaming forever? Is it streaming? I don't know, but I've got it. And it's obscure, and I will always be able to watch it. And so that's why I love the physical media, and that's why I don't buy so much mainstream stuff. For example, like, because I was on Phat Samurai Guy's channel, and we did a versus show where they put two movies up against each other. We talk about them and then vote on which one is the best. And those movies today were Batman Begins and The Batman. And in Batman Begins, as well as The Dark Knight, right? I believe. But Morgan Freeman was in them. And so that got me. I went and rewatched them a few days ago, and that got me into a Morgan Freeman kick. And so over the last couple of days, I watched, and I cannot believe that I have not seen until now Kiss the Girls or Along Came a Spider, the two Alex Cross movies that Morgan Freeman did, which were phenomenal movies. Have you seen those, John?
Yes, I own them. I have them on a collection. Okay. It's like Kiss the Girls, Long Came a Spider, Double Jeopardy, I think. I think it's like that.
Does he play Alex Cross in Double Jeopardy too, or is that an Alex Cross movie, or is that it? Just those three movies happen to get together.
That's the what's the Judd's name? Come on, she's part of the. She's like the daughter of the Judds.
Oh, Ashley Judd.
Ashley Judd. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, Ashley Judd's in that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Okay,
I have it,
nice.
like,
Nice. Okay, cool.
yeah, it's behind me somewhere here. But
okay. Nice. And you know what? And I don't think I've seen that. I'll have to look for that. But but I have not I had not seen those until a couple days ago. But you know, they were like, they're so like mainstream movies that I'm like, okay, well, do I need them or not? I don't know. But at the same time, they were so damn good that I might just buy them anyways. But for you know, there's a lot of movies that I watch that I'm just like, I don't know if I need to own that or not, because you know, if it's a Universal or a Paramount or you know, whatever, you're going to be able to stream it somewhere forever and ever and ever. You know, as long as I'm walking around this planet, you'll be able to find it. But you know, having the more obscure movies is, I think, the reason to collect physical media, the stuff that you can't typically just go online. And now with physical being phased out in so many places, you are getting like streaming services. Like there's a Criterion streaming platform, wherever that, you know, I don't know. I haven't been on there. And I think other places like either Arrow or Shout Factory or something that you can stream now. And so there's so many movies that, you know, you can stream now, but will they be there forever is the concern, I think.
I would say buy as much physical media as you can. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters if it's Hollywood or not. Like I did. I mean, I just went out and got all the Kevin Costner stuff, and then I went out and got all the Peter Berg stuff. Because you mentioned the Criterion channel, they edited The French Connection. So the N-word has been removed from the film.
Oh. Wow. Interesting.
But
yeah. That's frustrating. No, and that's you know, you always see the jokes, the little memes about like Blazing Saddles, or Blazing Saddles was edited for television nowadays, and it's like 7 minutes long. You know, basically,
pretty
like
much.
you know, 90% of the film would not be suitable anymore. Breaking Sopranos, what's up, man? That's like the best name ever, right there. Or what did I say when I was drunk in Vegas? Sons of Pranos. I was trying to say Sons of Anarchy and Sopranos, but it came out Sons of Pranos. But I like Breaking Sopranos. Longtime follower, even back from your video game hunting and dumpster dive bids. Nice. Yeah. You know what? I, as much as I like to, and have shot videos being out like hunting, whether it's video games or movies or whatever, I don't get them edited and get them up anymore. But you know, I try, but at this point now, mainly we're more focusing on live streams and movie reviews, and hopefully that's stuff you enjoy. But thanks for being a subscriber for so long. That's a long time. Let's see here. And Matt says I have my eyes peeled for Mars Attacks. Maybe I just pull that off my shelf and hand it to Matt next time I see him, because it's where is it? It's over here somewhere. Oh, it's over there. But anyhow, now you know I get what you're saying about just buying as much as you can, because if there's, with cancel culture, if there's a chance it's going to get edited or tweaked or changed. I mean, look at, who would have thought that it would the original Star Wars, before it was A New Hope, when it was just Star Wars, you know, who would have thought it would become so rare or hard to find the version that doesn't have all the tweaks and changes? Like, you want to watch the original version, most of the time you go to the stores now, if you're even picking up physical media, it always says A New Hope on it. So
yeah, the one problem with Lucas, well, Lucas has many problems, but the week that Star Wars originally came out, he was already re-editing the film. So we will never actually see that version that played in the theaters ever. I have I do have DVD burns of the original 3 Star Wars, and where Star Wars is called Star Wars. It's not
Nice.
A New Hope. And then I have, you were with me. You even pointed them out to me. I got the laser disc right up
the
there.
laser discs. Yes. And does the laser disc say A New Hope on it?
No, it just says Star Wars.
Ooh,
At least the cover just says Star Wars.
Yeah.
So
you need to get a laser disc player.
Yeah. So there's a few ways of seeing them. It would have to be pre-special editions, because everything that every time he brought out one of the Star Wars films, it was always tinkered with. So there's really no way of seeing those. Even the prequels, what you see in the theater is not what you get on Blu-ray.
Wow.
They're different. Like the pod race is longer. So you're never going to be able to see those original theatrical versions. They're always going to be, played with. He even ruined THX 1138. He re-edited that whole movie and put in modern effects and stuff and CGI, and it just looks awful compared to what it used to be. And that you can only find on like VHS and Laserdisc.
Wow. Either World War III or the zombie apocalypse has started, or my neighbors have a lot of leftover fireworks, because they were just going off like boom, 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 for like a couple minutes there. I was like, why are the dogs going ape shit back here? And then I could hear it. It just, man, people were, not to get on a pedestal or anything here, but people blowing off fireworks, like, I get it. You're going to go, you want to pop off some fireworks the weekend of the holiday or something, fine, whatever. Friday night, Saturday night, whatever. It's freaking Tuesday night. It's 8:30. There's like kids either trying to go to bed so they can get up for school or just go to bed in general. There's people with jobs that have to get up early in the morning. It's just like, what are you doing on a Tuesday night at 8:30 outside popping off fireworks? And I sound like an old man talking about, it's 8:30 at night, but come on.
Yelling at clouds, get away from here, you cloud.
Yeah.
Cloud, get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Exactly. Yes. So House of G fam, what up? Says Double Jeopardy's really good. And so, yes, I'm definitely going to have to check that out.
I got him like right here. See, I have her in Twisted, which is Samuel L. Jackson. So that'd be close to Morgan Freeman, I guess. And then
Jesus Christ.
And then here's Morgan Freeman. So that's Kiss the Girls.
Yeah, no, okay. I don't own doubles.
I'm not saying that in a racist way. I'm saying as far as acting, voice, monologues, and all that type of stuff.
It's Morgan Freeman without the motherfucker.
There you go.
Or with the motherfucker.
I just there. So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go out and collect something, you get it, like you can like this, like the French Connection, where it's nice and unedited, and the N-word is in the movie, and you get parts 1 and 2, so you're really paying for part 1, and you're getting part 2 for free because part 2 sucked. So,
so I wonder if it hasn't been already, when will it? But Django Unchained, when is that going to get adjusted? Matt says,
oh no, go on.
Matt says one movie on a deserted island. So you're on an island. You can only have one movie with you. Is there one you're able to pick?
Well, my favorite film is The Graduate from 1967, but I don't know if I would want that on a desert island. I don't know, because it's a drama.
Yeah. I know. You know what? So and I love The Graduate. And it's funny you mentioned that, because one of the shots that we're going to do when we go out for that shoot in a week is inspired by The Graduate. And look at this right here. I have not even opened it. It's my factory sealed Blu-ray Criterion of The Graduate.
That is a great Criterion disc. Yeah, I got it sitting right behind me. It's right below me, right there. So here it is. This is that triple feature. It also, yeah, it does have Kiss the Girls.
Okay,
so I own the movie twice.
Oh yeah, no, well, that's a great. Well, I mean, at least two. I'm sure I will enjoy Double Jeopardy. I'm going to try and find that tonight, maybe after we're done here. Well, depending on what time it is. I've got to get up at like 5:30 in the morning. So, yeah, I don't know. But Desert Island, man, that's a hard pick. Let me just. So Captain Lou, what up? I don't think the obsession is with the N-word. I think the obsession is having the art in its original form. Is the point?
Yeah, I guess in a very simplistic type of way, that's what I was saying. Is that you want the film in its entirety? I mean, it was based on a true person. And that's the way he spoke. That's how he acted back then. I mean, it's Popeye Doyle is a real guy, and so yeah. I mean, I don't think that you should just keep the N-word in because it's the N-word. That you should keep it because it's art.
Yeah, no, it's like taking a painting on the wall and erasing a corner of it, because it offends.
Yeah, I'm offended by her eye, so I'm just gonna get rid of, I'm just gonna paint over that eye when it's, so it's yeah. So Tarantino, to go back to what you said about Tarantino, would never allow it. I think that he's been very vocal about that type of stuff, and I become even more of a fan of him over the last few years because he's stuck with his gun and not taking a knee and not, bow down to these people. So,
yeah, no, very true. And they're very true. And that is something to respect from him. Web Movie One says, what's cracking? What he missed? You missed, we were talking about the After Dark, Tom Devlin's new movie that John and I and Justin Scard and that Fat Samurai guy, all of us are in this movie with wrestlers Gangrel and Sin Bodhi and lots of folks, including Tom Devlin. But this movie is out on Tubi today. So we thought we would jump on and talk about how everybody could see this movie on Tubi right now. Link is down below. That's what you missed, Wet One. But Wet Boy, hopefully you had some fun hanging out with your manstress Gabe. Got to see, I know Wet Movie One doesn't get to see Gabriel that often, so very cool that they got to hang out. Let's see, Jeff. What up, Jeff? How you doing? Fans upload some really nice obscure stuff on YouTube. There's some great stuff on there. No, it is pretty amazing. Some like fan films or different things that you can see on Tubi, and especially even some movies that maybe either you could watch for free or sometimes I have to pay a little fee for or whatever. But there's a lot of good stuff to be seen on Tubi. Mario, what's up, Mario? How you doing? Oh, Mario.
Would you want Jaws on a desert island?
No.
No. Oh, well, you don't like shark movies anyway, so it would.
I don't like Jaws. I don't. I don't know. I'm trying to think what I would want.
I'm going to say Ed Wood, or maybe Sideways. Maybe one of those two. I could always watch those.
This might be a good time to segue into the other topic that we were supposed to be talking about tonight that we're already now hour and 9 minutes in and haven't even touched on. And that is the Ty West trilogy. And now if I could have a trilogy on that island, maybe I would take that Ty West trilogy or man, The Dark Knight Rises is so tough to get through. But Batman Begins and The Dark Knight are so good that maybe I would take that trilogy or the new Ty West. I mean, X and Pearl are just mind-blowingly good. John, you may take the Hangover trilogy if that was a trilogy.
I would do the Hangover. Yeah, if it was a trilogy, I'd do the Hangover trilogy. I think it's a perfect trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of X, Pearl, and Maxine, you watched all three of them for the first time in one day, did you not?
back to back.
Nice.
Yeah.
And your okay. So thoughts on X?
I have a theory. This is after watching all of them.
Okay.
I think Pearl and Maxine are the same person, but from alternate timelines.
Okay. See, and so my kind of rant review about it, and anybody, if you haven't seen Maxine yet, let me just forewarn you. We're going to talk about this trilogy now. If you have not seen the trilogy, I urge you to exercise caution as we may dive into some spoilers here. Analog Addict, what up? New Funkos. John has a couple for me over there. I've been out, and it's funny. I went to Five Below around lunchtime today, and they didn't have anything new out here. But yeah, John picked up a Carmela Soprano and a Spider-Man for me. So very excited to add those to the collection once I see John next.
And I got the Ruth from Ozark.
Oh, so yes, you have plenty of new Funkos.
Yeah, I now have Ruth, even though I've only seen one episode of the show. I took your advice and grabbed it. So that's kind of my Philip figure right there. Is if somebody goes, "Why did you get Ozark?" This is why. Or why did you get Ruth from Ozark? And I could tell.
I mean, I could show you a clip that is maybe like 5 seconds long of Ruth screaming something. You're gonna have to fucking kill me, and you're like, yeah, it's one of the greatest scenes in the whole show. So she is a phenomenal actress, phenomenal character, in a great story. So you give that show some time, it will pull you in without question. It really will pull you in.
I liked what I saw. I just couldn't get involved in another show at the time. It's just there's too much. I mean, I'm trying to make it through season 4 of The Boys. So
see, I am still stuck on like episode 3 of season 1. I just haven't. I need to get back and go. The first episode was great, and I watched like the second episode. And it's like kind of been on the shelf. Whereas every time I go to sit down to watch something, either I'm not in the mood for that genre, or I'm like, I don't have time for a new show or something that so I haven't gotten back to finishing that or getting caught up on it. When Movie One had fun with Gabe, shot some stuff for his next documentary about how you started YouTube. Nice, very cool. We could be looking for that. Look forward to that one. But Mr. Wet Velvet, we got to talk. The end of the month, man. We have the same weekend as San Diego Comic-Con is the Midsummer Scream. Brain was not working there for a minute. I got locked up. But are we doing Midsummer? Are you gonna be good to go like on that Sunday? Or if you're not gonna go Sunday, I'll probably just go Saturday. But I do believe there's somebody there I need an autograph from. I think Mr. Roger Jackson's gonna be there, and I do need him right up here above Lee Waddell. So nice. I believe he's gonna be there. So I don't believe I can fly, but I believe he's gonna be there. Mama, what's up, Mama? And OGP or Matt says OGP don't like monsters. Not the biggest fan. Not the biggest fan. Yes, Mia Goth is amazing. And okay, so we need to dive into this trilogy now.
Yeah. So you asked what I thought of X. Each film, and so we could start with X, looks like something else. It's a tribute to something else.
Yes.
So I felt X was shot and very much performed like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Eaten Alive, which is, Tobe Hooper's film with the alligator in it. I did have a problem with it. So, did you ever see the film Spring Breakers?
Is that
with James Franco?
James Franco, yes. And what was her name? The Latina girl, the singer now, Selena Gomez, right?
Wasn't she so Selena, so she so all the girls in that film get naked, but her. And she's always in a bikini, which is fine. That looks great. But she's the only one, and she leaves like partially, like halfway through the film or something. Like she can't continue doing what they're doing, like robbing people and all that. And I thought, well, I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to kind of break out of that little Disney mode. And, but I thought that was kind of annoying. So with Jenna Ortega, I kind of got that same vibe that she's a big star. She's kind of the name in this. She's not the lead. She wants to do the sex scene. And we do get her, instead of a bikini, we get her in panties and a bra, which is nice.
Yeah.
But she's, once again, the only one who doesn't show nudity. And even the guys show nudity in this. I mean, the black guy's just standing right at the door with his dong hanging out. So I think if you're going to be in a movie like this, then you got to risk stuff. You got to do something.
Yeah, no, I get that. And at the same time, I totally understand what you're saying with that. I really understand. I wonder two things. One, I don't see Jenna Ortega doing nude scenes anytime soon. I don't. No. And so, but her character, I like the arc of her character. And I'll get into that in a second. But my second thought on this was Jenna Ortega was born in 2002. I'm wondering when this film was shot. It came out in 2022, but when was X actually filmed? Was she still a minor at the time? Because she had to have been 18 or 19 when that film was being shot. So I wonder if that played a factor in it, or if Jenna Ortega was just like, no, I'm not gonna.
It might be a little bit of both, because I don't think Ty West these days has a problem getting a movie made. I've enjoyed most of his films. A lot of them are slow burns, which these aren't. I mean, Pearl's kind of a slow burn, but I really enjoyed the whole thing of trying to make a tasteful porno. I like that by working on so many low budget movies, it seems real. You know, sometimes you watch a film and you go, that's not how you do it. Come on. Yeah. Even the filmmakers should know this isn't how you make a movie. And this did seem to work, that there was the cameraman, and then she was the sound person, and then you have the actors doing the slate. Yeah. And then like they're also doing like some makeup and stuff. You got the producer who's there. And I liked Pearl going around killing everybody. I thought was that was pretty cool.
Unexpected. An old lady being the killer. Unexpected.
See, that's why I almost think that when Pearl and Maxine are like face to face, Pearl says something. Yeah. She said something to me that made me go, oh shit, is this Maxine?
Yeah.
But from like an alternate timeline in the future, and she is telling her stuff that she doesn't know yet.
See, and that is something that I'm with you on. I am with you. And people have gotten on me about on my review. They're like, you know, Pearl and Maxine are two different people. Pearl is a killer. Maxine is a final girl. But we saw her kind of flip the script at the end of X when she got all, finally had her chance and she fucking ran over she ran over Pearl's head and everything because she finally had enough of that shit. She lost her mind. So with that sense, and watching the interactions between Pearl and Maxine, you are right. What they touched on, and I don't want to go too into specifics, with spoilers, but things happen during that movie that you're like, wait a minute, this is like you're seeing the pictures on the wall, you're seeing these things, like this is the same chick. Like, what are we doing? Or is Maxine really Pearl's, or is Pearl really Maxine's like grandmother or something? Because we see, which we find out in Maxine, we see Pearl's dad on the television the entire time during X, him preaching and everything. We find out in Maxine that on the TV is Maxine's dad, and which I had forgotten about that when I did my little rant. And then I went back and rewatched and I went like, oh shit, now I understand why the dad is who he is in Maxine. So that makes a little more sense to me. But going back quickly to Jenna Ortega, when she came in and she starts kind of going at the boyfriend, like, well, what does it matter if I do porn? What does it matter? Like this and that. And I was like, every guy that's ever had, or anybody that's ever had like somebody be unfaithful to them. Like for me, I was like, this fucking bitch, how she's going to go right in front of him, seeing how upset this is making him, seeing how hurt he is, that she is going to go, forget who it is, but the fact that she's just going to go fuck somebody else on camera because this is his, they're dating. And so last thing you want when you're dating is like your girlfriend, being out there naked and getting hammered by another guy. Like that's a bond that you have with your significant other. And she threw that to the wind. And so at that point, I was like, fuck this bitch. And with the way she died was epic. And I was like, fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. She, because she turned into such a little bitch. Granted, she was stuck in a basement with a dead body. She was freaking out. And the second she got out of there, now she's screaming at Mia Goth. And it's like, whoa. Don't you go fucking judge her. Don't you go judge Maxine, because your little hoe ass just did the same thing and got in a porno. So don't give me this high and mighty bullshit. And when she fucking ran out the front door and just got fucking nailed by that shotgun blast, I was like, if I didn't like this movie before, I fucking love it now. That was just so good. But I was already sold when Pearl, the first kill, the camera guy, or Jenna Ortega's boyfriend, when he's getting fucking smashed to shit by Pearl and the blood is like spraying up on the headlight of the van and everything. Oh, it was gorgeous. I love the way that was shot.
Yeah, it's did you notice that the opening shot is the same shot in all three movies?
No, I did not. What is the opening shot?
So in X, the camera is inside the barn and you just see the one cop car and it keeps kind of pushing in and then it reveals more that there's two cop cars and then you like see the other cop car kind of drive up. And then in Pearl, it's the exact same shot, but the house is beautiful and bright and there's the animals running around and then it pushes in, revealing more of a beautiful house instead of a shitty one. And then in Maxine, the camera's inside a one of the studio, like
one of the actual studios.
Yes,
like
inside, and the doors open as it comes in. It's the exact same shot 3 times.
Like the soundstage. It was in the soundstage.
The soundstage, yeah. And I just thought that was absolutely gorgeous. Like they knew 100% what they. I got to tell you, Maxine's my favorite out of all 3 of these.
Wow. Okay. Nice. Well,
yeah.
So I've heard other people say that, and I don't have a problem with it, and I mean, you know, we all appreciate things differently, interpret art different ways and stuff. So, you know, one person's view does not mean another person's is right or wrong. And that's the best thing about doing videos like this is talking about it and hearing other perspectives and hearing why somebody else may like one movie or a scene or actor or whatever better. But so Maxine, because like we talked about with Maxine kind of being, she wasn't necessarily Pearl reincarnated because Pearl was alive at the same time that Maxine was alive. But I kind of felt like maybe there was a curse or what's that called when you need an exorcism? When you have an
exorcism.
Well, no, but when you have like a demon in you, you know, like maybe, you know, maybe she had, maybe Pearl, you know, like, you know, whatever, like that demon in X maybe transferred from Pearl to Maxine or something, that possession, you know, or whatever. Maybe it was something like that that went from Pearl to Maxine. And I just wanted to see, and I thought we were going to see, based on the way the trailer was put together, I thought Maxine was going to be this badass killer. I thought she was going to go just wreck shit and be killing people left and right. What, like, because I thought, how cool would it be? She's a famous movie star. She's coming up, and you know, she was a porn actress, and now she's like a huge Hollywood star, but she's a fucking killer at the same time. I thought she was going to be the killer that they kept talking about on TV, which ended up being, spoiler alert, turn it off if you don't want to know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, here come the spoilers. It was her dad. So I just wanted it to be her. I wanted Pearl to be a badass killer. And when we found out that she wasn't, it took some time for me to accept that and digest it. And I still think I wanted her to be more of a badass. Whereas, I mean, Giancarlo Stanton, that's the Yankees player. Giancarlo Esposito, he was phenomenal in this. And the way, again, spoiler alert, the way that Kevin Bacon's character came to an end was really fucking cool. But in the trailer, you see Maxine putting on that makeup and doing all that stuff. So I'm thinking Maxine's going to be the one to kill him. Nope. So
see, and I would do it exactly the opposite way. I think that I think, as much as I love Pearl, and I do love Pearl, to me it's the Wizard of Oz. If you look at the colors, it looks like an MGM movie. It looks like the Wizard of Oz with her riding the bike and all that type of stuff. So I loved Pearl, but X and Maxine are more connected. So
100%,
about Maxine is, I am a child of the 80s, so I love the 80s part. I love the music. It's also giallo. So the whole thing with those gloves and how we're only seeing the gloves and we're seeing the murder weapon, it's very giallo. It's very Dario Argento or, you know, Lamberto Bava. It's very Italian-esque. So it has a very LA kind of American version of what a giallo film would be. And I liked the whole religious aspect. I really liked that they had the protesters outside and, you know, and that there was that kind of the battle between them because of the film, The Puritan. There's, so what you're saying would make a good film, but I would not want to see it as Maxine. I'm very happy with what we got, because I'm watching it going, she didn't kill his dad? To her dad? What is that? And then it cuts like a minute or two later, and she's just got the shotgun. And I'm like, oh, shit. And so, like, she doesn't care that there's a police helicopter right above her. And I loved all of that stuff. I could watch Maxine again. I mean, I
Oh
thought
no,
it was
and
that good.
I'm sure I will again at some point, and that's where I cannot wait because I'm sure at some point they're going to come out with like a 4K box set, and that's why I have not purchased X or Pearl yet on Blu-ray. I'm waiting. I'm hoping that we get a trilogy in 4K at some point.
Well, it's going to be a quadology. Did you know that?
Oh, they're going to make another one.
He has an idea. Yeah, Ty West has an idea for part 4. He's just going to see how good Maxine does. He says if it makes money, he's going to do a part 4, which I like because then we can move from, 1918 and then, or the 70s, and then we went back to 1918, and then we got the 80s. So now maybe it would be the 90s or present day with her.
Okay.
So and if you notice, the reason why I say that I think they're the same person is they both have the same dreams. So Pearl wants to be the dancer in like the Hollywood movies, while Maxine wants to be the actress and be in big, huge movies, which I always took a little bit was because it's also the 80s, is that they're kind of riffing off of Tracy Lords. So it's being famous in the adult movies, and now she wants to move into mainstream, except that she wasn't underage. But there's a little. I got a lot out of this. I liked all the dad stuff with the crazy religious, cult members and how they're branding, all these girls and even the female director. I thought was kind of hot. And I liked what she had to say about Hollywood. Like the lead actress dies, of the Puritan. And she's like, yeah, she was good in the Puritan, but she's not a star,
Yeah, no. And that's, I thought that aspect of it was great. And this is interesting to me because of how good and popular this trilogy is in the horror community. That it looks like to date worldwide, Maxine has only made about $8 million. So what was the budget? I know X was like, each of them was made for $1 million. That's pretty damn good.
$1 million for each one.
X and Pearl shoestring budgets of X and budgets shoestring budget for $1 million each. Let's see what IMDb says.
Because X and Pearl were made back to back.
Yeah, and it's according to IMDb, they were done for $1 million each.
That seems really low. Not for X, but for Pearl, because they had to convert that entire town into 1918.
Yeah, well, I wonder with that, it was shot like in New Zealand or Australia or something. So
yeah, I saw New Zealand kept popping up, and I'm like, oh shit, where was this actually shot? And of course, they got all those tax incentives. So
yeah, but so X and Pearl, obviously, if they were shot for $1 million. They have obviously cleaned up, making it keeps going to X when I'm trying to find Maxine, but it says it grossed 15 million. But I can't find it offhand here. But
you just trying to find like the budget for Maxine?
Weekend. Yeah, I'm just trying to find the budget, and it just keeps taking me to X. Yeah, I'm not domestic box office worldwide. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so I got it here. So the box office is 7.8, but it doesn't say.
Yeah, the actual budget I just can't find. Well, anyways, I hope they do make a fourth. I would love to see a fourth. Let me say, Steve Mayers, what's up? Sorry, I've been slacking on getting these comments. How weird. Maxine just felt like a weak Toolbox Murders remake. A good soundtrack, though. So I love the soundtrack. That was a phenomenal soundtrack for Maxine. I did love the 80s, like all the neon and the colors and the hairstyles, the cars, the clubs, the sleazy like strip club joints. Everything was very 80s looking. They did such a great job with that.
So I did find it. So X is $1 million. But then Pearl, that's why I'm questioning that town had to go back to 1918. It was 8 million. And then Maxine is 2 million.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. But the idea that, to me, just the idea that the film has grossed like less than $10 million. And this is still technically opening weekend. It's only, but I mean, when you have movies now, I understand we can't compare this to the Avengers or something that's going to, have an opening weekend of 300 million or something like that. But I would think compared to some of the other horror movies like Evil Dead Rise or, just some of the other big horror movies that have come out recently, this is nothing. It's not making anything compared, but it's such a better franchise than anything in the horror world that's come out lately when you look at all three films combined.
But look at what movie they keep comparing everything to, because the film only cost $15 million, and that's Godzilla minus zero. They're saying, how can you make a film which is one of the most beautifully shot films? That the Godzilla minus zero is amazing, and it only cost 15 million. And everything. How can you make a movie like that? But yet, for some reason, like the new Beverly Hills Cop movie, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, cost $150 million. How? It doesn't. It looks like the film is shot in Canada. It doesn't even look like LA.
Yeah.
So it's so. I remember a couple of years ago, I forget what film it was, but they were saying like something was the highest grossing movie of the year because it was made for like $5 million and it made $20 million. So when you look at a film's budget, that was the highest grossing movie of that year because it made like 6 times its budget or something. It was like huge compared to something else that I even heard now. And what a big Tom Cruise fan I am. I'm worried about Mission Impossible 8 because I've heard now it's doubled its budget.
Oof. And you're talking like 300 million. I mean, so you're talking about going to like a $500 million film.
Yeah, it's like, will these people not learn? I mean, it's along with like Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dysentery. It's those are like 2 of the Mission Impossible 7 are like 2 of the highest budgeted movies ever made, and they'll never get their budget back. Yeah.
No, it is crazy the amount of money spent on films. And that's where, I mean, to see a movie, even like Maxine, if it was 2 million, even if it was 8 million, like that is a solid fucking movie for that amount of money being made. Is a movie like the Batman, which whatever that budget was, or like a Mission Impossible, is it that much better of a movie because it cost $200 million more to make? I don't think so, know? And so, and I get it, like, especially with Mission Impossible, because you have like locations all over the planet. And Tom Cruise does his own stunts and all, like, there's a lot of things going on with those movies and they're fun movies, just like a James Bond movie all over the world, or, like a couple of the Bourne movies all over the world. They get very expensive having to get all those new crews moved around or whatever. Like, I get it. But hundreds of millions of dollars to make those movies. I mean, hey, if they're willing to make them and they can make a profit and keep making them, then that's great. But I'll tell you, I would rather go, and see Maxine. So it's funny, just looking quickly. Evil Dead Rise grossed $24 million in its opening weekend, and the first Exorcist grossed $11 million in its first weekend. Let's see what Exorcist Believer did. $27 million in its first. No, yeah, domestically it was 17, but gross
the first
worldwide.
Omen. Is that what you meant? First Omen?
I'm sorry, the first Omen. Yes, yeah. The first Omen. But yeah, Exorcist Believer, $27 million in its first weekend.
Both garbage.
So it's just, I understand horror movies don't make the money that action films or sci-fi films do. I get it.
No, but they do. That's the thing, is that it's we can't look at these things as, is this the Avengers or is this Avatar 2? It's if people did the same thing that Jason Blum does. If he makes his movies, remember his films started off at like 5 million, and then they went up to 8, and I think now they're probably more expensive, especially with like Exorcist. But if they went off of that, look at how good and successful his films were. Paranormal Activities and The Purge. All these movies were like $5 million. And they all made like $30-40 million.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to have something that's outrageously priced. And a lot of it has to do with reshoots, because Disney doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. I mean, we're now on more reshoots for the new Captain America movie. It's now a totally different film.
Yeah.
So it's like that is now like 2 or 3 times its budget. If they made movies for less and made them good, like X, which all takes place on that farm, more or less.
Yeah.
And you're following the story for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because they're even in the white van. They go to the gas station.
Yeah.
So you could still make a good movie that's even kind of taken from something else and make it cheap, and people will love it.
Yeah, no, and I think a lot of it is the story. We can accept sometimes subpar effects, or certain things we can tolerate. If we have a good, I saw it. If I think you're referring to what he got back to you.
Yes.
Yeah, I responded to him. So if he sees it, but I think the story is the most important thing, and that's where you get. Like Evil Dead Rise could have been amazing. I like it. Like, the cinematography looked great. Some of the scenes looked great. The story was just atrocious. So
I liked it. I liked Evil Dead Rise.
Man,
so
I
do.
I just couldn't. Yeah, I was so I was angry when I walked out of the theater. I was angry. So that's what
I wasn't. I really liked Evil Dead Rise. I like that director. I'm glad that we're getting 2 more. No, 3. I think we're getting 3 more. They're already planning 3 more.
That same director?
No, different directors.
Thank God.
And Hole in the Ground was good. That he made, which got him the job. But it's. I love thinking that, because with that is we had Bruce Campbell on one of those albums that the kid was playing, and it was all like the preachers and the businessmen and all that are all yelling like recite the book, don't recite the book, and then you can hear Bruce Campbell's voice, and the director has said, yeah, it's possible that was Ash. We can't say, but it is possible. So he's now time traveled to a different time and is trying to stop them from opening the book, like knowing what's going on. So I love hearing stuff like that and thinking that, okay, so that ash is still floating around out there somewhere. And I don't know. I liked Evil Dead Rise. I have no problem with the film. You might, I mean, I'm a little more centered, so some of the political stuff in it didn't bother me as much. But I mean, think about it. They all died, you know, pretty much.
No. But I mean, so and this is a totally different conversation than talking about the Ty West trilogy here. But yes, no, for many political agenda reasons and the woke aspects of it, it drove me nuts from the get-go. And so my review of it has over 2,000 views, and 85% of the people like what I had to say about it. So I will wave that flag around there. But everybody, we are one moment, John, if you would. We are talking about a movie tonight that just came out on Tubi today, from a good friend of ours that wrote, directed, produced, all that good stuff. I do believe, and we are just so fortunate enough right now to be joined by the director himself. Look at this, Mr. Tom Devlin in the house. What up, dude?
Yay!
Are you doing? Are you at Taco Bell?
No, I'm at the Railroad Pass Cafe.
Nice. I saw arches in the window. I was like, oh. But dude, man, no, we spent quite a while talking about the After Dark. Everybody can. Oh yeah, we were talking about lots. Yeah, we were diving deep into the Tom Devlin collection tonight.
What do you guys think of the After Dark?
Oh man, it's wild. It's a crazy ride. It's got a guy who's really good at giving thumbs down. But it is such a wild, fun, crazy ride. One of my regular viewers, Balzer, has already watched it, and he says that he feels like he likes it way more than he should. So big thumbs up from him. And man, you know, being there at the premiere, got to see it way before everybody else, but it was so much fun. It's such a fun movie, such a crazy cast. And I don't want to keep you all night because obviously you got the family there with you. But
Waleed back there.
Waleed, what up, Waleed? The legend. Nice. What man, you got all the legends over there tonight. Decent. Very cool. Someone had thrown out the question, how did you get Gangrel involved? So is that a story you can tell us?
Yeah, of course. Way back when I conceptualized the movie, I had always imagined Gangrel to play Vigo ever since 1998 when I came up with the film. So I basically I ran into him several times in my life. I ran into him at a wrestling show here in Las Vegas. I did his makeup for this Clowns versus Vampires bash, and I knew right then wasn't the right time. I didn't have a script, and then I took wrestling classes from Jake the Snake Roberts at a place called the Snake Pit. It was Jake the Snake, Sin Bodie, and D'Lo Brown were my coaches, and I did that for about 3 months. And then Gangrel came in as a guest coach, and I was like, "Oh man, this is the guy. This is the guy I want in my movie." But like so many of us, you know, I had this idea and this. I knew I was going to make this movie, but I didn't have a script. I wasn't ready to go, so I knew it wasn't the right time to like seed it. You know, not yet.
Yeah.
But then when I came around to writing the script and getting ready to do it, I knew that Sin Bodie from the wrestling school knew Dave, and I asked if I could get his info and if my offer would be insulting, you know, and Sin was like, "No, Dave's a great guy. He'll love it." And I reached out to him, cold called him, and he called me right back. And I said, "I'm a friend of Sin Bodie's. I'm making this horror film. He's going to be in it as well. It's heavily populated with wrestlers, and I'd love for you to do a part. And he's like, I'm in, brother, I'm in. Well, he said
Nice.
yes before he read the script. So then when I sent him the script, he realized it wasn't like a pop-up cameo, like oh, hey, I'm fanging and banging, want some, get some. He realized it was like he's the guy. And he tried to get out of doing the part several times. He was really afraid to act. He had never acted in a feature film. And I said, you don't need to act. I wrote the movie around you. Like, this is you. You don't have to act. And he's like, I don't know. But he killed it, man. He was so good. And I love Gangrel. Always been one of my favorite wrestlers. And to have him part of this was a dream come true.
Nice. That's cool. It's a really cool story. And that is hilarious that he was trying to back out. Not because he didn't want to do it, but because he was kind of nervous.
He was nervous. He was nervous up till the day of the premiere. During the premiere, he was sweating like a pig. He was. But afterwards, I said, "What did you think, man? You were great. What did you think?" And he goes, "Oh, I look like 30 pounds too heavy."
Well, they say the camera adds 10 pounds, but when you're that big of a human being, maybe 30 pounds is what it adds.
I mean, I think he looked great, and I can't imagine anybody else in the role.
Yeah. Well, no, we loved him in it. It was so cool getting to, especially being on set and getting to see, him kind of help working and choreographing, the fight scenes and stuff. And you guys kind of working that all out, how the shots were all going to play and stuff. It was so cool. It was so much fun.
So fun. I mean, you were there. It was so fun. It was like,
yeah.
I said at one point, I was like, this is Devlin mania. Like, we're just watching these guys beat the snot out of each other,
Nice. Yeah, no, dude, it is so fun. I am so glad that, because I know you had asked Preston, Phat Samurai guy, to be in it, and he didn't have a ride out, and so I guess he hit you up saying, hey, well, is it okay if I bring Philip or whatever? So the fact that you let me be a little part of it, I'm honored. I love it. It's a fun movie. It's just a crazy ride. And, we're telling everybody all about it, man.
But you guys both have a good little cameo in there. John Ward's in there,
100%. And that's why John and I are both doing this tonight. And so I'll shut up for a second. What do you want to talk about? You got anything to say to Tom or questions for Tom while we got him here, John? Or sorry, if I cut you off, Tom, I apologize.
Well, where do you kind of, out of all your movies, do you have like a favorite? Do you have like a ranking system, or what do you got? I have so many. You've made so many movies; they're falling out of my hands.
The After Dark is my favorite feature film I've made so far. They're all my children. They're all my babies, and I love them all. I love them all the same, But right now, The After Dark is my. I don't know. It was so long. I've tried to make this movie for so long. Like since I was a kid, I had this idea, and it just to see it all actually come to fruition. And it is a very 90s feel. Like it feels a little bit like Buffy, a little bit like Blade, and a little bit like the Romeo and Juliet with what's his name, DiCaprio. It has all those feels, and I think that-that's exactly what we were going for, John, I know you're a harsh critic on film. What is your thoughts, even though I know you're attached to it a little bit, but what is your takeaway from watching it?
I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I liked it. I see that you are maturing as a filmmaker. You're getting more into kind of more interesting areas. I am biased. I still like, I'm still, as much as I love, I mean, I gotta put Teddy up there as my favorite. So, cause it was the first time I worked with you and I got to know everybody. But I do highly recommend seeing this now that's on Tubi. Everybody could check it out.
Yeah.
So, I do like it. I'm interested in what you're doing next. I've seen all the pictures and stuff, but I only see you growing as a filmmaker and making good horror movies that just aren't movies that, you know, like, oh, it's the same thing over and over again. You know, you're always branching out and doing something else.
I value your opinion because you do have a very strong opinion, and you're well versed in movies. I mean, look at that pile behind you. You know.
That is true. And as Balzer down there says, I heard John really loved Axel F, and he's laughing. No, I hated Axel F. I thought it was horrible. I thought part 3 was better. So there you go. So bashing on Eddie Murphy for a second there, you know. So I would prefer to watch something like, you know, like one of your films over a new Beverly Hills Cop movie, because I know this is going to be interesting and different.
100%.
Well, Beverly Hills Cop is the same thing 4 times.
There's also something to be said for, like, you've seen how bare bones we are, and you work in the same world often. Like, we're not Hollywood. We're the backyard bullshit backyard lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and that's where people, you know, can't go in. And that somebody a while back asked me, because I had one of the movies I talked about on the channel that was, I forget what it was. It was an indie film. And somebody's like, you're bashing like Evil Dead Rise, but you loved this. And I'm like, yes, because, you know, that's just how I felt about them. But you can't, they're apples and oranges, because, you know, you don't have $100 million budget. You're doing things, you're figuring out a way to make things. And like right before you jumped on, I was just telling John, we were talking about a different subject, was it's about the story. Sometimes we can settle for or accept or just be okay with a little imperfections that, you know, may not have been there had you had $100 million. But if you give us a good, fun, compelling, interesting story that pulls the audience in and makes us want to see what's going to happen to these characters, that's what we need. And so you get that, especially here, because, you know, we have this girl who's, you know, going, not to spoil it for everybody, she's going from one group of bad guys essentially to another group of bad guys, and now they're all pissed off at each other, and is she going to make it through? What's going to happen? All this stuff. It's like you're waiting to see what happens next. I turned Axel Foley. I turned it off 10 minutes in. I just didn't care. They were driving around. I just didn't care. But anyways, I don't want to keep you all night because, like I said, you're there. But I would like to ask you 2 simple, quick questions. One, we're all going to watch After Dark tonight, and moving forward, what's next? Because I know you have another project. Did you wrap already in your next project? And one other question, Matt wants to know what your favorite werewolf is. Do you have a favorite werewolf?
Oh, 100%. So number 1 question, we wrapped It Steals Your Skin. It's over.
Nice.
Directed by Waleed Atchi. He wrote and directed.
Nice.
And I produced it, and we're all working very hard to get it through post. And our next project, end of September, we're going to revisit a movie we were supposed to do last year called Bloody Bluff, but it got canceled because we lost our location. So it's a Sasquatch film.
Nice.
We're going to shoot that September 29th up in Mount Charleston. And then your second question, I have 2 favorite werewolf movies. The Howling, Part 1. I love the wolf in The Howling. And I love Ginger Snaps.
Oh, nice. You know what? Everybody's, and I own Ginger Snaps, but I've never watched it yet. I gotta get my
great film.
You need to
But Tom, I gotta disagree with you. Howling 2, your sister's a werewolf. Come on, man.
Sequels of Ginger Snaps, just watch the first one. The others are great, but the first one's special, you know, and I feel that way. And I think the first Howling with Dee Wallace, man, God, it's so good. Joe Dante's brilliant.
No Howling 2?
I like Howling 2. I like the marsupials. I like all the Howlings.
Nice.
I'm a fan too. I got to get that book. I know that you've sold it at the museum, but I need to get the Howling Companion because I own all of them. I'm a fan of all the films.
I might have one around somewhere.
Nice. Well, we have I have all your links down below, and the link for everybody to click on to watch the After Dark on Tubi. We've got it down there. But like you said, Tom, it's one thing to watch it, but something like this type of art, there's nothing like having a copy of it And I'm sure we can buy this at the museum, or
Not yet.
is it
So
not
you got
yet?
a special we call that the lawsuit edition.
Okay.
So White Wolf, the company that created Vampire the Masquerade, came after us for some verbiage that's in that movie. So the physical copies you have, there was only 120 ever made. Those are off the market. They're gone. They're slightly different than what's playing on Tubi and what you saw in the theater. So those ones have some words that we had to cut out. The new After Dark filled chock full of special features will be available sometime around August 1st.
Nice. Okay, so
So
not available yet. And
we have to keep this close to ourselves.
Yeah, those are hopefully someday considered a collector's item.
Right. And so then, so August 1st on that, are we going to be able to get that at Plan 9 Picture? Am I saying that? Plan 10.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Well, Tom, thanks for joining us for a little while here, and congrats on the success, and congrats to you and Waleed and the crew for knocking another one out. We're looking forward to that, and man, you got them coming, just rolling right now. It's very cool.
We're trying to build an empire here, but I appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys talking about what we're doing and spreading the word to outside audience, because that's the hardest thing.
No, we're definitely doing it, and we've already had some people out watching it and stuff. So hopefully it really does well for you. So, well, hey, enjoy the rest of your night there, hanging out with everybody. Thanks for jumping in. It's honored. I'm honored. It was really cool to have you here for a few minutes, Tom.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.
All right,
bye.
See you later. How cool was that, everybody? Freaking Tom Devlin, the legend. Tom Devlin right here. I mean, from Puppet Master fame and all kinds of stuff. What a resume. But he was always like behind the camera as far as like doing effects and things like that. But now he's on the side where he's actually making, like directing and producing and writing the movies and stuff. It's so cool. And I know he's done some like in the past, but I think he's really taken the reins lately, and it's so cool, and it was really a nice treat to have him jump in.
Yes, it was awesome.
and talk about this for a while.
Well, what he has, if he didn't take advantage of it, would be a waste. Because when you see the museum, when you see what he does as a haunt, during October, when he has the collective of people that are around him, from filmmakers to actors to effects artists, if he wasn't making movies, I think it would be, directing, like writing and directing. I think that it'd be a waste. I think it'd be an absolute waste, because you have everything there, and we've been there. That we know that haunt has been like 5 different places now. He just keeps redoing it for all these different movies. Yeah. So I'm glad that he's taking, advantage of that. And that goes out there for any, filmmaker, especially for people that are starting, write what you know and write what's around you. If you have an old house that's on a hill, why aren't you making a movie? Yeah. You have a location for free.
It just occurred to me. I hope Tom didn't think I was giving a thumbs down to the movie. I hope he remembered that I was giving a thumbs down in the movie. I'm going to have to message him.
Oh,
because in the movie, my character is doing the thumbs down. Hopefully he didn't think.
That's funny.
All of a sudden I'm going like, oh man, hopefully he's not thinking I gave it a thumbs down. But no. That's what my character was doing in the movie. So Tom, if you're still watching, I was not. I'm giving it a thumbs up.
That's funny.
But my character was in the background giving a thumbs down. Man. Oh man, gosh, he's probably sitting there right now going like, "What the hell? Thumbs down? That's messed up." No. Everybody, you got to go watch it. But man, how cool was that? You know what? He's such a busy guy with all these things he has going on with the museum and family time and movies being made and all this stuff and appearances. He's doing conventions and all kinds of different things. So for him to take a few minutes to hang out with us was badass. It really was.
Yeah.
So man, so everybody still, links down below. for the Monster Museum, I said Plan 9 pictures. It's Plan 10, right?
Plan 10 pictures,
Right back there. Yeah.
But he got it from Plan 9, so I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah. But so anyways, yeah, it's the links are all down below for Tom, for the museum, for Plan 10 pictures. All those links are down below. They always are. They're one of my auto preloads there. But
a buddy of mine popped on Buckaroo Brothers Productions. That's Christian Murray's game. So
no way. Okay, nice. Very cool. I recognize Christian's name, but I did not know that he was Buckaroo Brothers. It says his last name right there, Gant.
And his producing partner is Bright.
Okay, very cool. And I should have known that because he's commented before and stuff. So and I am friends with him on Facebook and stuff. So but very cool. Man, what a fun. We were 2 hours in. And I know you had just gotten home from work right before I dragged you in, screaming and kicking into the live.
I thought I was out. They pulled me back in.
That's what I do. That's what I do. But anyways, we should probably get to winding it down here now. I'm thrilled that we got Tom on for a minute, and we had an absolute blast talking about everything that we got to talk about tonight, but especially the After Dark. And hopefully everybody goes and gives it a shot, gives it a click over there on Tubi and checks it out for free. Well, absolutely free. You just got to watch a commercial.
Yeah, I mean, and everything we're talking about is indie. It's After Dark, or if it's Pearl or X or whatever it is. Even 8 million, if that was the budget for Pearl, that's still low budget for that minuscule type of movie. That's big budget for us, but that's low budget for some other stuff. So check out the After Dark and go check out Ty West's other movies too, The Roost and The House of the Devil. And he's a great filmmaker. He really is. Just a lot of his stuff is a slow burn, so it all happens at the end. So but it's good.
No, and that's where it's Tom message and popped on right when we were kind of getting into. I was going to give you my counterpoint about Maxine, and I understand what you're saying with the the whole like Italian film and stuff, and to me some of it, like when it went back and you actually got to see her blow her dad's head off. Some of those effects, some of the heads being blown up, or they were great. His head being blown off was phenomenal. It might not have been the best effect ever, but it was a hysterical effect. But my biggest issue with the end of that film is, and this will be my final point on it, and you can make a final point if you'd like, was that he was a churchy guy. His daughter was struggling actress who was doing porn and things just to survive. But yet suddenly he had the money to have this gigantic $1 million home that had to have, you had to take a ride, like a trolley thing up just to get to the house. And then he had all these people around who maybe they were all just from the church. Where did he get the people? Where did he get the money to do all this and to murder all these other people? How did he put all this together? The first and second act of the movie I was in love with. It was the third act of Maxine where they lost me. I was not the biggest fan of just some of the timing of the shots and the way all of a sudden at the last second the cops show up just to save the day when he's about to burn her at the stake or whatever he's going to do. And I wasn't the biggest fan of that. And that's why it got the score that it did from me, which was a 6.5. And so with X, I don't even know what I rated him at the time, but I'll just tell you right now, I feel like X, I absolutely love X. It is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I give X right now like a 9 out of 10. Pearl, I'm like I'm right there. It was so good. A 9 out of 10. But Maxine is like a 6.5 for me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think to maybe answer your question about the cult is all you have to do is look at like Jim Jones and some of these other people where everybody will just hand you over their possessions and money and you know, and so he got that because he has the TV show and people are giving him, you know, all that money. I mean, look at, you know, Scientology and you know, what is that, the group that had the Nikes, I think it was, that ended up killing themselves because the Halley's Comet was coming over and it was a UFO. You know, Jim Jones, I think is the best example, because that's a bucket list thing for me, is I want to make a Jim Jones film, and like a legitimate film. And but I think that's where he probably got it all, is just people giving him money and people sacrificing what they have, and that's how he gets so much of it. Is, you know, who's the guy down in Texas that has like the freaking arena? Joel.
Oh, Joel, I know who you're talking about. I know exactly.
Goldstein?
Holstein.
Gold.
It's
one of you guys over there in the.
I know exactly who you're talking about. The guy who wouldn't let everybody into his church.
Yeah, when it flooded in Texas. Yeah. I mean, look at him. I mean, he's got
Joel Osteen.
Yeah, and my grandmother used to buy all of his stuff and like try to force it on me. And I'm just like, you know, I'm just like, no, I'm not buying into this. Stop buying his stuff. You know, you're just giving him, you know, you're an old woman. You need that money.
Yeah, let's see. I'm just curious. Shits and giggles. Wow. Joel Osteen is estimated to have a net worth of over $50 million. For talking about God and how God is going to save you if you read the book and you do these things and you come to his church, you're going to get saved.
That's why the Righteous Gemstones is awesome. The Danny McBride show.
Yeah, it's a show, and especially because that has what's his name, John Goodman, right?
Yeah, he's the dad.
Yeah, and see, and that's that's another one I have to get to.
It's really good. That's what those guys should stick with. They should be making Halloween movies or Exorcist movies. They should just be sticking with that type of thing, because that's what they're good at. So I just, you know, because I was also looking at, you know, for like Maxine, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, its budget was between 90 to 96 million.
Oof.
So I think you know, that's the 70s, and I think Maxine did a good enough job with making it look like the 80s, and didn't even have that type of budget. Not even close.
Yeah, no. And see, for a movie like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you're going to pay those big actors a ton of money just for them. That is such a huge chunk of the budget. And so it's you take Jenna Ortega out of X, and I'm sure she didn't command at that point what she would command now, but you take her out of X and you don't have, I mean, Mia Goth is no Jenna Ortega when it comes to celebrity status, but she's phenomenal. I just, you know, so many of those movies, like, yeah, we want to see those stars, but at what cost? You know, it looks like Mia Goth for Maxine only made like $400,000. See, that's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Because, you know, like Jenna Ortega, you know, I mean, for whatever her last movie was, I don't know. I can't even imagine what she's making for like Wednesday or something, but you know, that's got to be $1 million an episode or something. It's crazy, you know, when you climb that ladder of fame, how much the pay scale increases, you know. But Mia Goth is just phenomenal. I love the trilogy. It is definitely in the conversation of one of the greatest trilogies of all time. Maybe digesting Maxine a little bit more and down the road, maybe I'll like it a little bit more. because I didn't walk out mad at it. In my review, I walk out and I'm like conflicted because it was not what I had expected.
Well, you
and that's
said in your review maybe you hyped it too much for yourself, and
no, that's definitely the case. And that's other movies I went in too hyped up. I'm trying to remember what else I'd seen recently that I was really hyped for.
I did that with Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. I went in thinking this is going to be the greatest movie in the world. It's going to make $1 billion. You know, who isn't going to love this movie? And then it bombed. So,
yeah, it definitely wasn't The Strangers, which was okay. Or not The First Home. In Violent Nature, no. I'm just kind of going back to seeing what might have been really big earlier this year that maybe, because it was something not too long ago where my expectations were really high and it really let me down. But I don't know. But there was something that I walked out of. Oh no, yeah, and I was not a fan of Prey at all, but there was something that I walked out of that I was like, maybe my expectations were too. No, you know what it was?
Prey,
and it was
Prey,
last
the Predator movie.
Yeah, I didn't care for it at all. It was Saw X. No, okay. I loved it. I loved the movie. John's gone. I loved Saw X. Don't get me wrong.
It's my second favorite Saw movie.
It's probably I like 1, 2, and 3 better than it for sure. It's maybe my 4th or 5th favorite Saw movie. But I expected it. I went into the theater going, will this be the best Saw movie of the franchise? Based on the trailer and everything that I saw and knew going in, I was like, this has the potential to be the best in the entire franchise. And 1, 2, and 3, I thought it couldn't touch parts 1, 2, and 3 for sure. So I was a little let down based on my expectations.
Could it be that it's political?
No. I mean, I give that movie. I mean, come on, it's a Saw movie. This is not.
But Saw 6 is incredibly political about the healthcare system, and I think that's the best Saw movie.
Yeah,
and this has that same idea.
Yeah, fuck you. Don't start ruining Saw movies for me. Talking about the politics.
Saw 6 is very, very political.
No. I get it. But no, that has never. None of the Saw movies have ever. I mean, because so for a movie to sit here and go, you know what, one thing is bad or whatever, to have a little political sway or whatever, it's fine. It's just when it's over the top, in your face, throughout the entire thing, that's what gets me. But
you go back to good writing. It depends, because you can look at something like the original Night of the Living Dead, which is communism. You can look at Dawn of the Dead as consumerism, and then Day of the Dead is the decadent 80s. So it's all about me. I mean, but yet Romero never threw that in your face. But that's what those movies were.
Yeah. Well, no, and that's what's like so fun with like Room 237, kind of exploring what was like really what was The Shining about. When you look at the undertones and and things going on in The Shining, you know, where was it a political movie? You know, I mean, you know, did Kubrick push this? I mean, there's a lot of questions, you know, like about Kubrick and his movies. But, or maybe they're not questions in certain people's minds or whatever, but you know, I don't know. For me, the Saw movies, they are one of my guilty pleasures, where 1, 2, and 3, I thought are phenomenal just because the way they're all kind of taking place at the same time. The writing on them was so brilliant to be able to kind of make it so they were all taking place at the same time without, like, you know, tripping over their own feet. So that's what I loved that. some of the later Saw movies, the writing wasn't that phenomenal.
Different writers.
Yes,
Lee
but
Winnell
they
did
were
the first few.
they were still fun, and we got to watch people have to make these decisions: save my life, or completely disfigure, fuck myself all up. That in itself is a good enough question to get me to watch a movie. If you have to make a choice, I have to do something that is going to cause me insane pain and maybe chop my foot off to continue living, or I'm gonna die. Would you be able to do that? That's a tough. And would you be able to do it in that certain amount of time that you have before you're going to get killed? That is an amazing thing to ponder. And so I think that alone gives Saw a little edge where it can lack in writing, and I'll still love the film. I don't think Saw X lacked. I just felt like Saw X was kind of incomplete. But now, if we get more in that storyline, I would love to see more there. But I'm feeling like Saw 11 is maybe going to be a different direction from my guess. From what's come out, is that maybe it's going to be more Hoffman.
Well, they definitely brought him enough into part 10. Yeah, so it's possible. Because the next one doesn't come out until next year.
Yeah,
so
I know. When they backed it up, I was so disappointed.
I'm disappointed, but at the same time, it's like, if this makes a better movie instead of them just rushing it out.
Yeah.
Do you know the history of Hoffman?
I've seen all the movies, but I can't sit here and.
So
he was like a copycat killer early on.
Okay, not that. So I believe Craig Hoffman, one of the producers, is the guy who found the short for Saw and brought it to Lionsgate. And Mark Hoffman, might be Mark Hoffman, and he died of cancer during the third film.
Oh, wow.
So they created the character of Hoffman in tribute to him. And his name is on every single producer for every single Saw movie. So his family could still make money off the films. That is how important that Lionsgate thought he was.
Yeah.
In a way that where New Line Cinema was like the house that Freddie built, Saw is the house that, that Lionsgate built. So I think that's amazing. And so people criticize Hoffman and the character and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't at all, because I think it's one, I like the actor, I like the character, but I think it's awesome of what the studio did for the family after he died. So
yeah. Matt says, what number are they almost Saw? X was 10, and so 11 is coming up.
11 is
next year now. Yeah. So but anyways, before we get on any other tangents like we're so good at, let's go ahead and wrap it up. John, what's coming up, or what do you have out on your channel that everybody should go watch right now?
I just my YouTube channel is John Ward at Dark Park Films, and
links down below.
Thank you. And I did just bring out my third Tom Cruise film. I'm sorry, Tom Cruise video, which is all about my collectibles, and I talk about directors and stuff like that have worked with him. So I have a little bit of a man crush on Tom Cruise. So I did 3 videos on him. I did 4 on Michael Bay. And then in a couple days, another video comes out with Goodwill purchases that I did. And just trying to get the movies made, try to get Aximus out, get made and all that stuff. So working on your thing soon.
Yes. No. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to that. I don't know. There'll definitely be a video of some sort while I'm out there in Vegas. I want to go, and so I'm hoping to get into town because the Mirage closes on the 17th. I'd like to get into town maybe on the 16th and walk through the Mirage one last time, as that was my grandfather's favorite casino in Vegas. So I'd like to get out there one last time before the Mirage Mirage closes its doors to become the Hard Rock. So, so I'll definitely have some videos coming up. I don't know how much I'll have in the way of what we're going to be up to and doing out there, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I cannot wait. I'm compiling a bunch of things out in the garage, all of our equipment and props, things like that are going to be ready to go. So looking forward to it.
There we go.
So yes. So we'll have some, and maybe we'll have to venture around again and hit up a Zia Records or two and add more stuff to our collections that we really can't afford, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, with that being said, we'll go ahead and wrap it up for tonight. And everybody, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. Be sure you're subscribed to John and go check his stuff out. And no, Matt says yes, with a list. We will be at Zia Records with a list ready to rock and roll and spend some cash. That is correct. But thanks for watching, everybody. Have yourselves a good night. We will see you